Hey guys, this is Marcus and Leo from Big Time Super Friends.
And this is our review of Fate of the Furious.
By the way, guys, if you want to see my review of the original Fast and the Furious, link is going to be down in the description down below. What we're going to do here is we're going to do non-spoilers at the beginning, the first half of the video, and then spoilers, full-on spoilers at the second half of the video. When the spoiler section does come on, I will be putting a big giant graphic here that says spoilers. So with that said, first impression of this.
It's not the best, and it's not the worst. I was afraid of this from the start, actually, that it wouldn't be a good one. And I was actually hoping for it to be the best one so far. I really was.
I don't see how that could have happened, though, to be honest with you, because, you know, we got Brian and Paul Walker is gone.
Right.
Jordana Brewster is gone. So I was thinking, you know, how the hell are they going to continue on and make it interesting?
Well, I mean, it's tough because one of the questions that we had is, are they still going to have races? Is it still going to be a race-centered film? But I think that stopped happening a long time ago.
And to be honest with you, I mean, all the racing element of the Fast and the Furious franchise, I think stopped at number 5.
Yeah, that's really where it pretty much ended. I mean, they had the London race in 6, but it was just to get cars.
Yeah.
So,
now
to find Letty, actually.
This movie, I was kind of worried because the first 20 minutes of this movie, it almost lost me. Dude, I was worried
I agree.
The first 20 minutes of this movie because I just thought, okay, there were things that are happening here revolving, and this isn't like relating to plot or anything like that, but Dominic Toretto was racing this one guy for his cousin's car.
For his honor, man.
Yeah.
That's really what he was racing for.
And he pretty much was... It went over the top. I think, almost too over the top.
I almost want to say, I'm afraid to say this, but I think they kind of jumped the shark this time. Literally, well, they jumped the sub. Okay,
it was so. Things happened in the opening race. Okay, between Dom and this other guy,
and it's actually a good race.
You thought so?
I thought it was
hated it.
It was a good race. I mean, there's turns. It's pretty long. It's supposed to be a Cuban mile.
They're racing in Cuba, and this whole thing, I'm just thinking, this is not believable at all.
No, it wasn't. The disbelief, actually, I was really focused on the fact that there was a lot of elements where the car blew up, basically, and he kept driving. And it's like, okay, that's
the homemade turbo. Come on,
right?
The
cocaine,
like knocking down. Okay, by the way, the reason why this race happened is his cousin or something.
Yeah, his cousin.
Owed a debt. And he couldn't fulfill that debt, so the guy that he made the bet with is towing his car and pretty much owned his car now. Now, this car is a piece of shit. It's not a good car, okay, by any stretch of the imagination.
The Cuba scene it's all Chevys.
Is it?
It's all Chevys, man. And that's the thing in Cuba is the Bel Airs are big. Impalas, they had a couple of Impalas.
Makes sense because I saw a lot of Chevys.
Yeah, it was a lot of
in the opening scene. But I just thought, okay, so Dominic Toretto he's trying to win back his cousin's car by street racing this guy that he owes money to, right? Yeah. But I just thought, okay, that car's a piece of shit. The car that Dom was driving is a piece of shit, and the way he makes it faster is he starts knocking out the doors.
He pulls the fenders off.
The fenders.
The hood. The grill, everything.
The whole
front end is pretty much gone. It's just the chassis and the motor.
And I just thought, okay, how much really... I mean, you work on cars all the time, okay?
Yeah.
Now, weight reduction helps, but come on.
But, I mean, it's still, it's a V8. So, I mean, it's got some weight to it.
So, he hooked up some NOS, and...
I'm looking at it from a technical aspect, okay? So... Definitely, this race. I mean,
he beat the guy going backwards,
guys, and they were going like 100 miles an hour backwards on fire. Like this, it definitely jumped the shark. I mean, but the thing is, he won the race and he jumped out in time before it flipped over and exploded into the ocean. I mean,
now, by the way, this scene has nothing to do with the movie. I just wanted to talk about it because I wanted.
Well, it does have. It's in the movie. For fuck's sake,
it is in the movie. But I wanted to give you guys a good
taste,
a taste of why I rated this movie the way I did for later on.
Okay.
So that scene happened, and I turned to Nessa, and I immediately was like, oh my god, I'm gonna hate this fucking movie.
I had that similar feeling. I'm afraid to say it, but I did. I was worried the first 15 minutes of the movie.
And okay, so let's get to the characters here in general. We got the usual band here, okay?
Right.
Now, I gotta say, there were a lot of funny moments up in this.
Definitely. Roman had a lot of good lines.
I
think Roman stole the movie.
I think
Roman stole the fucking movie, guys.
Between Roman, The Rock, and Jason Statham.
Oh yeah,
those three. If those three were not in the movie,
the movie would have sucked.
It would have just tanked. Yeah, it would have tanked bad.
Like the sub.
Now, my favorite joke that Rome. No, Brian would always call him Rome.
But Roman Pierce.
Roman Pierce, okay? Now, there was this one joke that he nailed. They were in the Arctic. You know, they go to like they go to
Russia.
They go to Russia. It's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler or anything. But he said a joke in that location that I almost damn near laughed out loud.
But the thing is, it took a few seconds to actually get.
Yeah, well, not for me.
For me.
Which
like
one are you talking about?
I'll talk about the one who's like, man, I took a piss and I barely recognized myself.
Yeah! And you know what? It's so funny. It's so funny because if you're a dude, you know what he's saying. You know, you look like when you're in cold locations, you look like a shriveled turtle. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
see you later.
He goes, the girls know me, but when I pissed, I didn't even recognize myself. Oh shit!
That was a good joke, man. Yeah. I think half the crowd laughed. It wasn't. But it was funny.
And the joke interactions, the back and forth between Roman Pierce and Ludacris. Oh my god, what's his character's name?
Tej.
I mean, the interactions between those two are funny. Dude, those two are damn near almost as good as like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
And or like a Cheech and Chong. They play very well off of each other. They're almost as good as me and Leo doing reviews. But another
not even close.
Another couple that actually had good interactions between The Rock and Jason Statham.
That was a really good team up. I love that actually.
And you know by the trailer that they fought each other. Actually they didn't fight each other in the jail, but their interaction in the jail was hilarious.
Well, I mean, it goes obviously back to the 7th movie, right, where Jason Statham beats his ass pretty much in their first interaction. So they're referencing to that, and they want to. Well, The Rock wants to fight him, but they're in lockdown until the cell magically opens up.
Yeah.
And
so
it's a prison break.
Let's talk Vin Diesel for a split second.
Okay.
Actually, before we get into the spoilers, we're going to get to the spoilers really soon. Really, like we're almost there. But overall, the tone is a very fun-going type of movie.
It's actually really entertaining, guys. Okay. I was afraid that it was gonna. I mean, again, it did jump the shark in several parts and aspects of the movie, but in the franchise. But for the most part, it's really entertaining. It really is.
You know what actually helped this movie because it did go over the top in certain aspects, but it's kind of like this franchise has done a good job of kind of making me used to the outrageousness as like number 5, 6, 7.
They address it too in the movie.
Did they?
Like, there's a freaking sun. Like they even say it. Like, okay, this. They can't believe it themselves. The characters in the movie can't believe what they're facing this time.
And it's kind of, but the 5, 6, and 7 they prime you up to the outrageousness.
Sure, the jumbo plane, the tank,
what's in there, and there's really cool scenes in here that the one scene that kind of made me go like, oh shit, like oh my god, okay, this is kind of exciting is Dom is doing a heist, and the main villain, Charlize Theron, is pretty much hacking into cars and controlling cars.
Okay.
Look out for that scene.
Now, although it is a pretty cool scene, all right, with the way they kind of progress the movie along, it was kind of outrageous. All the cars. I mean, I'm like, this could never happen.
Yeah, it was one of those scenes where it was so outrageous.
Because the thing is, they made it seem like all these cars are automated.
Yeah.
Okay,
but you know what? In that particular scene when
Chrysler Caravan is not automated.
The whole gamut. Okay, there was a taxi. I mean, the
Prius. There's a couple Priuses that were hacked. Come on.
But there was in that scene though. I knew this was kind of going out of control, right?
Yeah.
But I was still kind of slowly, feeling the tension. Like,
yeah,
it was.
There was tension. I mean, the scene where
I've never seen that before.
We're going into spoilers territory now, but when Dom goes to his objective in New York, that whole scene was really amazing. Actually, I loved his character's his character, what he did.
Yeah. So, you know what? Before we reach the spoilers category, let me just give you the rating, each other's ratings, and then we'll dive right into the spoilers. You want to go first, as far as the rating's concerned?
I gave it a B-.
Okay, so...
I almost want to say B, but because of the fact that I feel they jumped the shark a little bit, it's a B-. But
so with me,
I'm on the fence.
The first 20 minutes, it was a C-, bro. Like, really, like, oh my
D
god.
territory.
This is like D territory. It was so bad. But then after Dom did his thing, he switched sides, and...
Which we expected.
Yeah, we saw the trailer.
Yeah,
we know
it's going to happen.
And there were just, for some oddball reason, as the longer the movie went on, the more I was kind of like, okay, it turned me a little bit. Like the more it went on. So with that out of the way, I have to give it a B-, like you. I almost wanted to say B. But there was
and it could easily be a C, actually, on the next viewing.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, if that first act would have gone any longer, it would have been a C.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
and I can't believe I'm saying this about a movie in this franchise.
Oh yeah,
because I actually like Tokyo Drift and Too Fast, Too Furious, and I know those are the worst two. People disregarded my.
You really like?
Yeah, I actually like Too Fast. I like the skyline. He features the skyline in that one. He obviously goes back to it later on the fourth one, and then I like Tokyo Drift. I like the story that they had. Han was the boss in that one.
Han was good, but
he was a Toretto. So I think Han saved the movie for me.
So we're both gonna say B-. Now it is time for the spoilers section.
Okay.
You have been warned. Now, why does Dom switch sides?
Okay, this was the biggest question leading up to the movie, and one of the things I heard just spit out there, I think on radio, was the fact that Dom was brainwashed. Which was, that he was brainwashed,
like
right?
Superman? No,
yeah, because I knew that she was some sort of a cyber terrorist.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, she hacks his brain.
Oh, God.
Like, she hacks his brain. That's the sort of thing I heard. So I came to this movie thinking, that's why Dom turns. And it's going to be good enough for why this movie happened.
There's no... Like, purposely, on my end, I stayed away from any articles.
Aside from that.
Any spoilers. I didn't even watch any, non-spoiler reviews. None of that. Yeah. I wanted to go in there and be like... Please surprise me with something good. And I told everyone before I walked into this theater, I may rate this so bad if the reason for Dom switching is not good enough.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously there is blackmail.
Oh yeah, that was a given. You got it.
Sure. I mean, there's other reasons, but for me, one was like, okay, he has to be blackmailed somehow, right? Was this blackmail good enough for you?
Yes, it was. But you know what? Before the blackmail actually happened, okay, the way Charlize Theron's character approaches Vin Diesel, it was in the first act, and Vin Diesel's in his honeymoon with Michelle Rodriguez, and all Charlize Theron does is give Dom a phone, and he's looking at something on the phone. They don't show you. They just cut away, and Dom is a bad guy now. Now, I just thought, oh my god, they better not fucking leave it like that.
He's not necessarily a bad guy yet.
He's not.
But you see him processing and making the choice.
Yeah.
Or actually contemplating his choice.
So, okay, so the secret is Dom has a kid with the woman in number 5, the blonde officer who...
The name just escaped me, but...
The name escapes me, but...
it's not Level, it's Letty, and then it's... God.
It's the girl that Dom... Vin Diesel was dating
In the
after
fifth one, in Brazil.
Letty.
In Brazil.
Yeah, in number 5,
Yeah.
okay? When he first met... when they first introduced The Rock.
Yeah. Hobbs.
Yeah. So he was dating that girl, and she ended up making another appearance.
She showed up at the end of 6, yeah.
So they had definitely a history. They were bone and cream pieing, and
Busted all kinds of nuts.
yeah. But so apparently in the timeline, so Letty died, or at least Vince thought he did. He started dating this girl in number 5, and that's when she got pregnant around that time.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was so funny that she wouldn't even mention it to Vin.
Well, she did
first.
say that when she saw him, which was I think in it was in the 6th movie. No, the 7th, because she's working with Hobbs in the 7th.
It's actually I just recalled. She mentioned in the movie when she's talking to Dominic Toretto or Vin, as far as like what happened, and he's watching her kid. She said she got kidnapped shortly thereafter.
Right.
So she might not have had the chance.
She was pregnant when she saw Dom and Letty. She said that.
So here's the thing. That's one aspect of Dom being involved here, right? So that's the thing that Charlize Theron has over Dom. Mm-hmm. But the reason why Charlize Theron even targeted Dom is because she was the mastermind behind
team.
Two of the jobs that they did in number 6
Shaw.
and 5. So Charlize Theron's character hired Shaw to do a job,
right.
And that clearly went awry, and Vin Diesel fucked that all up, and Vin Diesel and his team. So that's when she started getting Dom on his radar.
She also wanted to get Deacon on her team.
Yes.
The other Shaw from 7.
Yeah. So that's what's happening here. So
she's been behind basically these movies and has now surfaced.
Yes. And it kind of reminds me of a little bit of like, you know how in 007, Daniel Craig, when you meet the Mr. Octopus guy, the have you seen 007 with Daniel Craig? Who's the actor that Inspector?
Oh, Blomfeld.
Who?
Blomfeld.
The guy with the fucking little kitty cat, the white.
Blomfeld.
Okay, yeah. So it kind of reminds me of that, that, right? It was the guy that was controlling all of James Bond's villains
from Casino Royale.
Quantum of Solace. Yeah. And so that's what Charlize's character is.
Basically, yeah.
It's pretty much Dom fucked up her operation multiple times.
Right.
So
without even knowing it.
You may think right off the bat, like, that's kind of a stupid ass kind of, especially when the kid is introduced. We were talking about it shortly in the car.
Okay. The thing is that as soon as the reveal happens, right, they show you. God, what's her name? I was about to say it. Anyway.
Theron?
No, the girl from 5. From Brazil, the one that works with Hobbs. Anyway, when they show you her and the kid, look it up. Her and the kid, God, it's gonna kill me. When they reveal that to you, I thought immediately, oh no, he has a son. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's why. Like, is it valid enough? Does he even give a shit? Does he care? You know. So the next 10 minutes of the movie, I'm thinking, why? This whole movie happens because he has a son that he doesn't know about.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if someone were like, "Hey, you got a son that I've never met," my first thing would be like, "Hey, I don't know if I believe that or not." Like,
right.
I wouldn't be like,
"I need a paternity test right now."
Yeah.
Stat.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, I was hoping there was something a little like
Elena.
Actually,
That's her character's
Elena,
name.
yeah.
Elena.
Elena, but Elena, yeah. So I thought something like Brian and Mia were gonna get captured.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was the only
sure.
reason, and they were not gonna show them.
For sure.
And that it was a lie. That it was a lie the whole time. Okay? So, but obviously, there's some fallacies in that, but the thing is that I was hoping it was something that serious, right? But never in a million years that Dom has a kid.
Yeah, but so here's the thing: when the kid got introduced, right, and it's like, I don't know if I buy this.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
It's still kind of wasn't registering to me.
Right.
The moment in time in this movie where it kind of I started kind of caring a little bit was when they had the balls to kill Elena.
Yeah.
In front of Vin Diesel.
Right. In front of the kid.
Because Vin Diesel at one point was showing resistance.
Right.
And to teach him a lesson, he was like, oh no. Bam! Just shoot him right in front of him. And it's like the next time you F up,
it's the kid. But the thing is, if they kill a kid, then they lose
would never
the blackmail.
fucking-
Yeah, that's the end of the movie.
oh, I was going to say, no one would ever kill an infant.
Well, I mean,
on television.
First of all,
on
in
the
film that
movies.
never happened.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, it would have just the purpose for the mission and the submarine and all that. I think would have ended right there because Dom would have gone berserk, and he either dies or he kills her, and that's the end of the movie.
So what is Jobs? What is Vin's Vin Diesel's objectives? What is he having?
Well, basically,
him to do?
she's doing like one of those the searches, you know, where you look for things. The first thing he acquires is the EMP.
Like a military grade EMP
machine.
Yeah.
Okay. So the pulse generator. So
we don't know what it's used for. What it's going to be used for
at this time. He's still with the team, and then he betrays the team. Right. So the next thing he acquires is the launch codes from the Russian ambassador.
Yeah.
Right. Or that
for some nuclear warheads.
Right. And so he acquires those. Right. And then they go to get the sub.
Russia to get the goddamn nukes. And
it's all to keep the country in check and just to get whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah. Now, talk about Charlize Theron a little bit.
Okay.
Now, she is such a badass. As an actress, okay? I think she was one... Arguably, you can make the argument here that she was probably the most talented actor in this movie.
Sure.
Arguably, right? I mean, the one that comes close would... It sure as hell ain't The Rock, or Vin Diesel. The one that comes close, no,
with his wittiness, on the cuff.
The one that comes close would be Jason Statham.
Sure,
right,
because you believe him as a badass. I mean, here's the thing: I've never seen any of the Transporters or the mechanic movies. I know,
whoa,
but I know his reputation. I've seen him in Snatch. Okay, so I know that was my introduction to him.
Lock, Stock,
right. So the thing is, in this movie, he just does his Jason Statham thing, kicking ass, taking names, shooting fuckers. But he has a baby, you guys. He has a baby in the other hand. It's the cutest thing ever.
Oh, he has to be more specific.
Baby Toretto.
Dom. He's talking about the end scene where
I'm jumping the shark here.
Yeah, he's jumping. He's going full Vin Diesel.
Sure. All right. Let's back up a little bit. We'll go back to that.
So just going back to Charlize Theron a little bit now. Every time she opened her mouth, I would take her threats serious.
I didn't mind the braids.
Oh, I love the braids, dude. Her hairdo, I loved it.
I don't know why
I loved it.
I think at the end I was okay with it, but at first it's like, I don't buy that she has braids, man.
Now, here's the thing. She was the one that kind of, clearly, we've already told you that she was the one that hired Shaw in number 6?
6. Yeah.
So,
Owen Shaw.
Yes. That's right. Owen Shaw. And pretty much, Vin Diesel is taking pretty much Owen Shaw's role. Really, if you think about it, he commands a team.
Right.
He
basically,
takes and steals shit.
Yeah. But he's working directly under her.
So, how does Vin Diesel get out of this whole thing?
Well,
first of all, let me just say that Jason Statham and his younger brother Owen Shaw. Oh my God, what's the actual actor's name? He was in Dracula Untold.
He was in The Hobbit. Anyway, God, Anyway,
he was they end up teaming up towards the
you know
end.
what? That's one of the coolest reveals because they board the ship mid-flight and they got these jetpacks with like wings on them, and they're like stealth, like all blasting through the air.
It's like Rocketeer 2030.
Sure, yeah, and then they slip right into the plane, and then they just kick ass.
And you know what? It was kind of so. It was
Scarface.
So funny. I was. Oh yeah, dude. The interaction. First of all, you know, I thought about it. Like, how the fuck does Vin Diesel know who the fuck Shaw's mom is? Like, how?
I mean, she's a boss herself.
There's clearly some holes here. Okay,
sure,
but
sure.
You completely
right.
accept.
I bypassed that a long time ago.
You're like, how the fuck? There's a lot of things where you're going to be like, how the fuck did that happen?
First of all, how did he survive that roll from that car in the first race?
Yeah.
For starters. How did he survive the explosion in that engine? I mean, from that car, from the engine. Like, that car, his feet should have caught on fire. The floorboards were melting, okay? The kick panel was melting.
He should have been barbecued.
Yeah, sure. So, already in that first scene, you gotta stop thinking like, this is impossible. It's possible. It's
possible.
And it's a furious franchise.
In this world, anything is possible. Sure. If you could outrun a missile with a car...
If Toretto's driving, he's gonna live. If Toretto's driving, he's gonna fucking live. Okay? He survived the tank, you guys. He survived the fucking tank. He survived the crushing of the fucking parking lot.
The whole gamut. Okay? This guy cannot die in a car.
He survived the plane explosion.
So
he's gonna live.
By the way, guys, there is no end credit scene here. Okay, so don't stay till after.
Stay.
Yeah, or you could stay. Fuck it. But I thought, okay, Vin Diesel had this kind of thing going on where he was talking about, oh yeah, he wants to keep this fucking franchise going.
Sure. Yeah.
So I just thought naturally there's gonna be an end credit scene, and we might see kind of. Them going after the Shaw brothers again.
Well, sure, because they're on the loose.
Something. But no, they're buddy.
Actually, now they're friends, that's kind of weird.
It's weird.
It's kind of weird. Like, Shaw...
Hey, you killed my friend, by the way.
Yeah, you killed Han, so now...
We're friends.
I would have slit his throat right there. It's Han. Come on. Han was his buddy.
I mean, I get it. It's kind of like, okay, you killed my friend, but you saved my son.
Redemption,
okay.
Sure.
Okay, I got it. Okay, now we're even, Steven. Okay. But now I'm just thinking, okay, by the way, Charlize Theron was not captured. She escaped.
That's another good point.
So she could be in the next Fast and Furious somewhere, somehow.
She's supposed to be the mastermind behind the last two movies, right?
Yeah.
All the missions they've been going on, Hobbs has been going after. It's been teams that have been masterminded by Cypher.
Yes. But I'm just thinking, you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, because I love all the Fast and Furious movies, okay? But I'm just thinking, now's a good time to fucking call it quits.
Hang the hat.
There. Hang the hat.
Sure.
You made friends with two of your enemies that you fought in the last two movies. Actually, in the last three movies, because Hobb was really the guy after Toretto. So now, I mean, that's kind of weird. He's friends with everyone that's been after him.
But that's the thing, is that he said it himself, right? The reason why he did what he did to the first racer, he gave him the car back. He didn't keep it, is because he said, I wanted to turn him. That's what I do. He's
talking about that character that we see in the first act.
Actually comes back to help him.
He comes back and is part of a critical plot point in this movie. And here's where I kind of did enjoy the Ocean's 11 type of setup.
And this is the thing, is they do the reveal of how this whole movie, what was happening behind the scenes of this whole entire movie, and how we got to the fucking place we got to.
Yeah. At first, like in the middle of the movie, Vin Diesel shoots
Deacon.
He
kills Deacon.
Or he kills him, yeah. He shoots him twice, pop, pop. And
on the shoulders.
And I just thought, well, you know what? Part of my mind was saying, there's no way he's fucking dead, right? But then I thought...
Well, actually, I thought he was dead for sure, because he fucking killed Han. So that was his revenge.
Well, no, okay, so at first I was like, there's no way Vin Diesel killed him, because Vin Diesel doesn't really... Well, he does kill.
Well, at this point, he's rogue.
Right? So, but I just thought, okay, well, no, they killed Elena, so they are taking risks here. They are killing off characters, and that's when I just thought, oh my god, they just killed Jason Statham. Yeah. Fuck me. But then, it was a nice surprise. He comes back. It's all part of the plan.
It really was.
Just stay around, and it's kind of interesting. I did like that they went that route.
I did too. I enjoyed that.
Now, do you think to end this video? By the way, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment. Do you think they should make another? And if they do, and if you do think so,
and I was thinking about this the second I left the movie. I think the only way they could really do another one is if they go. I feel stupid for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Back to the races. Bring it back home.
Like, like do what kind of made you kind of blossom.
Right.
I say that in my Fast and the Furious original review. I wish they would do that. But I think they've gone too far.
Right. Now, look, obviously they're older. I don't think racing is their jam anymore. Although they do race around in the movies. They're no longer concentrating on, I mean, she did say and reference the fact that he talks about, how when he's doing the quarter-mile races, he's free for those 10 seconds or less, and nothing else matters. But he's obviously changed as a person, I think, a little bit throughout these movies now. I mean, the change started when Letty died in the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
That's where the change started. He started becoming more focused with the family. They went to Brazil to finish off that last mission, and then they all went their separate ways because they wanted to enjoy their life. So I think the character development in Vin can't allow him to necessarily go. I don't know, man. Like he has a kid now. He has a son.
Here's the thing, though.
He can't go after more.
I would love. You know what I think should happen really is, I think 5-10 years from now, I think we should do an original Fast and Furious reboot. Because for them to go back, they have Lamborghinis, they got Bugattis,
they've left the Honda. Toyota.
There's no CRXs in here.
The tuner scene is gone now. Yeah. It's now high-end exotic cars.
Yeah, and it's kind
rare
of
cars.
And if they do go that route, right? Like, let's say your idea, I would find it very difficult to accept because here they are driving Lamborghinis.
They put a fucking harpoon gun on a Bugatti.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's
the Phantom. Sorry.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'll race you $2,000 in this RX.
Yeah, you can't
go back. You've gone too far.
Right.
But
look, a little Mustang wouldn't be a thing for them anymore because they're literally racing fucking. They're racing Bugattis, Lamborghinis.
They're driving cars from building to building to building. Yeah, and dying.
They can't
go away.
But the thing is, I feel like they should go back to that.
They should. They really should in a reboot because I think people won't accept this cast as going back because they're too familiar with this cast.
And it's just like I don't know, man. They're all enjoying life now. I mean, they're bajillionaires, right? They got all that money from Brazil. Like they're enjoying that money. Right? That's what...
Yeah.
Tej has a mechanic shop. Roman, I think, is just, spending money left and right. Leo and the other guy, Tego, they're all fucking... They're just spending money, too. They come back every now and then just to do little quick... Let me help you out real quick.
And by the way, with the whole baby reveal, by the way, the way... The exact moment I accepted that baby is when his name was Marcos.
Oh, that's true.
My name.
And then Brian,
and they named him Brian. His first name, his middle name was Marcos, and I just kind of giggled at that kind of when that happened. I was like, oh my god! Yeah. And then they did a nice little tribute to Paul Walker towards the end by naming the first name, giving him the first name Brian.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way, guys, we will be back to review all the aliens. That's you.
That's me.
All the Spider-Man leading up to Spider-Man Homecoming, all of the Planet of the Apes from the 2001 Mark Wahlberg and moving forward. Stay tuned for that. Toby will be doing that. Brian will be doing the Spider-Mans. Leo will be doing the aliens. And I will continue to do all the Fast and the Furious because I enjoyed reviewing the first one so much. And with that out of the way, we'll see you guys later.